Hey guys, Bluebridge here, and I made a video a couple of hours ago, just about to edit it, but I had to scrap it because it was all about the patience of our fans. But then we got a Hato. Here we go. So let's get into it. So, as I said, finished making the video. I was just talking about how impatient our fans are and how spoilt they are because we hadn't heard anything about Hato or Simons. And I did it, 10 minutes talking for? I had to scrap it because, um, as I said before in my intro, just about to start the editing, and Fabrizio comes out with his "Here We Go," which was confirmed by David Ornstein a bit later. So, £35 million deal, good deal for Hato, and so he will have his medicals in the morning, I think, and it'll be confirmed. But what I was saying, or what I was going to say, is that our fan base are very, very impatient now because, okay, this deal it was imminent, but because they hadn't had the "Here We Go" for 2 or 3 days, they started to get twitchy feet and say, "Oh no, what's going on with the deal? Why haven't we signed it yet?" And that's the thing with this generation now. This generation just want things instantly, and they don't. They've got no. Re- idea of reality in today's world because um, things when you're buying a house, you don't just say, "Oh, I'm going to put in an offer for a house," and then 2 days later you're moving into that house. Things take time. With contracts, things take time. First of all, you got to contact the club. You then need to agree to, contact the club to ask for permission to talk to the player. Once you've got permission to talk to the player, then you have to agree personal terms with that player, and then you negotiate a fee. And sometimes you always go in at a lower price, and the other club will go in slightly higher, and then you have to try and negotiate. And after you do negotiate, then you have to do the terms of the payment as well. So whether you're going to be paid in 3 installments, 4 installments, what the add-ons are. So everything takes time. And Chelsea's waiting game paid off because initially Ajax wanted €50 million. In the end, it was £35 million, which works out to be about €42 million. So, and because Chelsea knew that Ajax needed to sell, and they needed to sell soon to comply with PSR rules. So that's why we were a bit in the driving seat. When Hato told Ajax that he only wanted Chelsea, they couldn't even play us off against other clubs. So that's the way it works. And so now it's calmed the fan base, hopefully, until the Simons deal. Simons probably going to take a bit longer because I think we were able to get this Hato deal over the line because we sold João Felix. We wanted to sell Renato Vega, but that one fell through. Had we sold Vega, then the Simons deal may have been happening, because we got to realise as well, as a club, we need to be compliant as well. So we can't be, if we start announcing that we've bought players left, right, and centre, then other clubs will then realise we need to sell our players. And the fact that we need to sell our players, they're going to be low-boarding us because they know what our situation is with UEFA. UEFA's already warned us, so they know come towards the end of the window, we're going to be desperate to offload players. So a lot of clubs may be waiting for a bit longer before trying to sign any of our players. And so some news came out earlier today. I think it was a German publication which said that, or a Dutch publication, it could have been actually, which said that obviously we need to offload Nkunku as well, because obviously if we don't sell on Nkunku, then we're going to have another player in the same position as Simons, and then also the money as well. We're going to be in a bit of financial difficulty as well. So we got to realise that as a fan base, that it's not as simple as just going on Football Manager and purchasing somebody. There are consequences that need to be had. So let's stop being this spoilt fan base, guys, and let's just everything. Just leave it up to the club. I know sometimes we get itchy feet because obviously we saw what happened with the Elise deal, with the Mannion deal, and some other deals which have fallen through. So I could understand the nervousness sometimes, but only when it doesn't happen, complain. Don't stop moaning about the club because a deal hasn't been done in your terms. It's not your club at the end of the day. And as I said, not your club. We are all supporters at the end of the day, but we are not the ones who run the business side of the club. And what the club are doing as well, which they get criticised about a lot, is the fact that we don't pay big wages anymore. And what we're seeing is that we are finding it easier to move on the players on the lesser wages because João Felix took a pay cut to join Chelsea. He's okay. He may get big money over in the club he's at the moment, at Al Hilal, and but we've also managed to sell other players like Madueke, for instance. The reason we got so much for him is because he's on relatively lower wages, affordable wages for Arsenal. So, and the players who are on big wages, the Chilwells and the Sterlings, those are the players we can't get rid of. So it's all well and good sometimes asking for the big signing, the big stellar sign, and giving them big wages, but football is a game where anything can happen. And we saw that with the Lukaku deal. It didn't work out, and then we ended up being lumped with this striker who we couldn't get rid of because his wages are high. There's going back to the Chilwell situation. There's talk about us having to maybe keep him because no one wants him. He's in the market, and his wages are being a bit obstructive. And sometimes people just want to play football, but he's won most things he needs to win in the game. So if he wants to see out his contract, a la Winston Bogarde back in the day, then it's his prerogative. So the club can't do anything about it. And even we're looking at getting rid of Sterling. Fulham wants Sterling, but even then, I'm hearing that we may have to supplement his wages or pay him off so that he can to make that move necessary. So pay him up for the rest of his 2-year contract. Because again, why should Sterling take a pay cut? Why he doesn't need to. He's happy because he's won everything there is to win in the game, apart from the Champions League, I think. So he can just sit back, take the money. He's enjoying life in London. So why take a pay cut? He doesn't want to do us any favours. So that's the thing. That's the consequences you have when you have players on these massive wages. So I think the club, I've always advocated anyway, having a lower base and making it up in bonuses, because it makes the players hungry as well for success. Because I think each player, was it £350,000 bonus for winning the World Club Cup? It could have been a bit more than that actually. So you win things, then your pay's bumped up by those things, and as I said, it keeps a hungry squad. So yeah, as I said, my other video was kind of along the same lines, but it was slightly different, obviously, because Hato hadn't been over the line. So now Hato's over the line. Are you guys happy? Are you still a bit nervous about Simons? Are you prepared to wait so that the club can get the best possible deal for Simons, or do you feel that we need to get that one over the line as well? The only thing I would say is that we got pre-season starting next week. If we can we need to get that over the line by the end of next week, but we've got time on our hands because, as I said, the players are still away. So we've got time. So we'll wait and see how that one pans out. So, guys, let me know how you feel about Hato and the others. So stick your comments in the section below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when I make a next new video. So take care. Bye-bye.